was next door helping a lady. And she came, she said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm leaving." I said, "I'm just in the way here, and I want you to give my little sister everything you can." She would borrow my clothes and come home with them filthy and ripped. She had big shoulders, and they were ripped. And I was called selfish because I didn't want her to wear my clothes.
Mm.
And it just got so bad that I thought, I'm getting out. I just left home.
Mm.
And I went to the Greyhound Depot and I said, "I want a one-way ticket to San Diego."
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and I thought, that kid's gonna go down there and get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Well, just buy a round trip."
Uh-huh.
I said, "No, I just one way." He said, "Well, you know, you can always get a refund. Just one way." Boy, he hated to sell me that ticket. He was a nice man, but I didn't get in trouble.
So why did you decide San Diego?
I think I met a boy on the desert when and I think he was down here.
Mm.
And, but it never developed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't, it wasn't that serious.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to San Diego and you got off the bus. What did you do after you got off the bus when you got here?
I went to a hotel and stayed all that night. And then I used to sing a lot for this man. He wanted me to be the soloist in the Christian church.
Mm-hmm.
And my minister said, "No, she can't do that. She has to go to my church." But he wrote a letter for me to the president of the bank here. It was his friend. And I thought, oh, I'll get a job at the bank. Well, he took me home to be the maid. And I worked for them, did all the cooking, did a great big Spanish two-story house,
Mm-hmm.
huge. They had 3 girls. One girl had a blue eye and one had a brown eye.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Huh.
nice girls. And then I saw an ad in the paper for, they had boy usherettes in the theaters, and they tried to form a union. Well, the way they handled that was they fired all the boys. So I got a job.
All right.
And then a friend told me, my best friend's mother wrote to me and she said, "Go to Esther Hall." It was a big 3-story old, what do you call those old houses?
Oh, like a boarding house?
No, it
Oh,
was
like a Victorian.
It was a private
Okay.
home, but they had made it. It was one of those old.
Like an inn, like a rooming house.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
But I meant it. Originally, it was just a big home.
Big house, big Victorian house
Yeah,
downtown.
Victorian. That's what I was trying
Okay.
to say. And so I stayed there, $5 a week.
Mm.
So, and I made 15, so I had $10 a week.
Ooh-wee.
I bought all my clothes.
Yeah.
And when did you meet Poppy then?
Well, I was on the door taking tickets,
Mm-hmm.
and he walked in. He was delivering film,
Oh,
Mm.
that's great.
and so he came in and brought the film in, and went out, walked down the street, came back, did something, came out, walked down the street, came back, did something, and he asked me for a date. And 3 days later, he proposed. That's
Wow.
really dumb. That could have been a catastrophe. And I had a lot of boyfriends.
Mhm.
In fact, I was engaged once and had a beautiful ring. And I thought, what am I doing? I don't love that man. That's not fair. So he said, well, you can keep the ring if you want to. No, I couldn't do that. It was really beautiful. So I never did get a ring. But I got Poppy.
So he proposed after 3 days.
3
And
days.
did you say yes at that
I was even dumber than he was. That would not be recommended.
point?
So, and then at my wedding, I've told you this, my dad said, I'll give you 2 weeks. And every anniversary, he'd say, honey, your 2 weeks are almost up. And we'd laugh every anniversary. He'd say, honey, your 2 weeks are up. That 2 weeks ended almost 70 years.
Yeah.
Just a couple
Yeah.
of months from
Yes.
70 years. Well, that was a long 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Ah,
So
That's
then
great.
you guys got married in what year was it when you got married then?
36,
Somewhere in there. All right. All right.
yeah, or 35, 36, I think it was.
And where did you live when you first got married?
We rented a little, I don't know if they call it apartment or court.
Uh-huh.
And it was out on Boundary Street.
Okay.
And then he got a call from his mother. And at one time, Dee worked in one of the movie studios up in Culver City doing some kind of work.
Mm-hmm.
And so his mother called and said his boss wanted him back. So he was working at aircraft when we got married and doing very well. So we packed up in an old Dodge and everything. Of course, I had a set of dishes. I'd already bought a set of dishes.
Of course. Because you're our grandmother, and we knew that would be the case.
They weren't china, but they were a set of dishes. And went up to Santa Monica, and his boss got fired.
Oh no!
So he didn't have a job.
Ooh.
It was during the Depression.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Boy.
And I got a job in the department store there, which was the only department store. And it was a very nice one. The movie stars used to come in and shop. And I got $16 a week. 6 days a week.
Oh, wow.
Didn't have a day off.
Wow.
Then.
So you were in Santa Monica at that point? did you
We
say?
were there for, Mike was born there.
Oh, that's right.
He was born a year and a half after we were married. I think it was a year and a half. And then one of my best friend, when I came to San Diego, she came a little bit after and married one of the lifeguards. And and he was on the fire department then. And he says, why don't you come join the fire department? So we came back down and he went to see the chief. It was so easy. He said, when do you want to go to work?
Hmm.
Oh,
That was it.
wow. That's
He made-
amazing.
He was making $85 a week, and that was pretty good
Mhm.
then.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we moved here, and we got $35 a week, and that was quite a come down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At the time, but we managed. I spent $5 a week for groceries, and a friend of ours up there spent $7. And I thought, oh, if we could only have enough money to spend $7 a week for groceries, we could eat a lot better. And I used to go to open air market run by Orientals,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd ask for 10 cents worth of soup. I go to the butcher shop and get a bone for free,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd ask for soup vegetables, and they'd get about this many, a potato and a carrot and a this and a that and a that. I had a sack this big.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put them all in, and we had so much soup. So then I got wise and would use the potatoes one day and the carrots the next day, the turnips the next day, and so forth. So we ate high on the hog for dinner. all that. But we managed. That's great.
Yeah.
So,
Amazing. I don't know that I knew all those details.
Really?
No, I think that I knew parts of that,
Oh, okay.
but I did not remember that it was only 3 days after you guys met that Poppy proposed. That part I didn't remember.
You remember that part?
No.
that's
I
fun.
think that's my favorite part of the
Well, I
story.
think we were married about 3 months later.
Sure.
Well, you don't want to rush into it.
No.
No.
It shouldn't have worked, according to all statistics.
Sure.
Mhm.
Sometimes you know.
So,
Yeah.
boy, I sure showed my father.
Did you work before you bought the dress shop?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you had different jobs after you got married. Did you work
Yes.
after Mike was born?
Say it again.
Did you work after Mike was born?
Not right away.
Mm-hmm.
Not right away. Until we, yes, I did. Yes, when he was little, I got a job in the department store in Santa Monica
Mm-hmm.
and made $16 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I paid the babysitter $5.
Oh, okay.
And
That was before Mom was born?
yes,
Uh-huh.
she was born in Long Beach.
Right. Okay.
Amazing.
And Poppy was in the Navy then, right? When Mom was born, was Poppy in the Navy, or was that later?
No, she was born in Long Beach when he was working in aircraft.
In the aircraft, okay.
And then when we moved to San Diego and he went on the department, it wasn't too long after that. This was still war.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a mail and I opened it up and it said, "Greetings." That's when they were inducted. It always
Yeah.
started with greetings from the government.
Mm-hmm.
So I called him up and I said, "You're going in the service." And so he hated that. And one of the most tender moments, he got up, this was a little later, but the morning he left, he got up and didn't wake me up, but I was awake. And when he left the house, I got up, and he was across the street smoking a cigarette little one with these pockets, and looking at the house, looking at the house. And I was at the, looking out the window crying.
Mhm.
But he only stayed in an hour, in a year.
A year.
Oh.
Yeah.
And was he away during that
No,
time? No,
he
he
was-
was.
He fought the Battle of San Diego.
Okay, so he was here then.
Yes, he was here. Oh, when he was inducted, he said, they were all going in the army at that.
Mhm.
He said, "Can I go to San Diego?" And the guy said, "What do you want to go to San Diego for?" He said, "Well, my family's there. Can I go in the Navy?" And go to, "Yeah, if you want to." So all the other kids he was with were in the army.
Oh.
And so that was nice of whoever the officer was
Mm-hmm.
that let him come. So he never left San Diego.
So then during that year, was he living at home still, or was he
Oh
living
yeah,
on
he
base?
lived at home,
Oh, okay.
and he'd have to, he could come home every night.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, the government paid, I think it was $100 a month. So, we couldn't live on that and make house payments and food. So I went to work, at night, a cashier in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked out really well, 'cause he'd be home, at night.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So,
Early models of what we call tag team parenting now. Where,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
The depression, was very hard. I guess he had a harder time than I did, because we lived on this 5 acres and had a vegetable garden and a cow. And, we lived there. We had a horse. Why we had a horse, I don't know. We had a horse. And I went to school with high school and grammar school with these 2 twin boys, and they were drop dead handsome. But they were kind of like a brother to me.
Mhm.
The nearest thing I had to a brother. Well, they came over one day and wanted to borrow the horse. So where we lived, it was not cement, it was blacktop.
Okay.
And they both got on this horse. And here they went down the street. The dumb horse fell over. And they fell
Oh,
over.
no.
And I thought, well, there goes my prince on a white horse. I still remember that. I still remember that. I wish I'd kept track with those kids. Because we did date them for a little bit, a friend of mine. Oh, this friend, she loved these twins. And they were good looking kids, beautiful kids. And I could always tell which one was on the field playing football.
Okay.
And nobody in high school could tell. But I just knew the way,
Mhm.
and which one, is that Wallace or William? And that's Wallace. No, that's William. But we had a date with them one night, this girl. She's crazy about him. And she said, "Which one am I going with?" I said, "I'm not gonna tell you." And so every time we got out of the car, I said, "I traded with you." And I never did.
Uh-huh.
I just told her that. She never knew who she was with the whole night. I was so ornery.
That's really funny.
She kept saying, "Which one am I with?" I'm not gonna tell you.
I've never heard that story before.
That's so funny.
I love it.
Oh, I love those 2 kids. They were just neat boys. I don't know whatever happened to them.
Very funny.
I have my high school books at the library upstairs.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
What was their last name?
Blaylock.
Okay.
Wallace and William Blaylock. I heard one of them lived in Oceanside, but I never pursued it. I didn't. That was years later. And then there was the day, 4th of July. And I worked in the soda fountain in Huntington Beach,
Mhm.
Okay.
on Ocean Boulevard, and I can't remember the name of the main street. It was about this long. And everybody, all the men that came in tried to tease me. And there were a lot of oil men.
Mm.
And they, at lunchtime, people would leave 10 cents tip.
Mm-hmm.
And when the oil men came in, they left 25 cents tip. And one night, I don't know where they got it. I was working a night shift. And they said, we'd all like a Coke. And they had their bottle. And I could see them. They'd say, don't make it quite so strong. But I thought, I'm gonna get these guys sick. And I wouldn't do it. I'd keep giving them a strong Coke. Make it a little lighter. More booze in it, more booze in it. And so then they were big shots. So then they put $1 out for a tip. And I made $25 that night. I thought I'd gone to heaven.
Oh my goodness.
That's the most I ever made.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was. I hope they all had a hangover. Probably did.
That's funny. And that was on a 4th of July.
Oh, then the girl in that worked for the Chamber of Commerce,
Mm-hmm.
she said, I need some more girls to be in the parade in their bathing suits. And I said, I don't want to do that. She said, oh, please do. I need some more girls. Oh, she talked me into it. And we paraded down the street in our bathing suits and up on a stand.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big deal then in Huntington Beach. So I ended up in first place. And I decided then I never wanted to be famous because we were just mobbed. And the chief of police was standing there, and I said, would you take me home and get me out of here?
No.
So he did.
Wow. That's the one we saw the pictures with you with the ribbon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where did you see that picture?
I think with all the pictures at your 50th, remember there were all the picture boards at your puppy's 50th wedding anniversary,
Oh.
and all with all the older pictures and some
Oh.
of these, and then there was
Oh,
one with
I
you.
don't think I have a picture of that.
No, or maybe it was in your book. Maybe it was in the book that you did for us.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I've seen that. I've seen a picture
Yeah.
of that, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's in the book that that you did for us.
Were
I
you
don't
in
remember.
were you in a different beauty contest?
Were you in more than one?
No,
Oh, okay.
that was it.
You didn't make a habit of it?
No.
It wasn't every summer.
Well, I don't think at the time they had more.
Sure.
Oh,
That was in the that was 34.
Hmm.
okay.
So it was a new idea.
Well, they always did that at Huntington Beach. It was a big deal on the
Okay.
4th. That was a beautiful, wonderful beach. And one day we were all on the beach, and a circle with our heads in, and one of the boys said, let's go jump off the pier. And I said, well, I would, but I can't swim. Well, that's okay, we'll help you. So my girlfriend and I, Peggy, we went out on the pier, and she dove in. And I jumped, and I thought I would never, I went down and down and down,
Mhm.
and I thought, I'll never get up. Well, of course I did. And I was never afraid of the water, and so I got in. But, and I used to live with my music teacher, and she paid me and help me out because my folks didn't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
They had 5 acres and some chickens, and that was it. And lost track.
You were living with your music teacher.
Oh, yeah, I lived with her a lot.
Yeah.
And one of the boys in our circle of friends, there were 3 boys and 3 of us girls, but we weren't boy girl.
Mm-hmm.
We were friends. And later, when we all got out of school and married, we had a reunion every year until they started dying.
Oh wow.
And I've survived every one of them.
Wow.
And so it was, we lived in Hamul and still went up. That was,
Really?
lasted that
Yeah.
long.
Wow.
They were such good friends.
That's really special.
That is really
They
nice.
one day, one of them said to me, I don't know what to do. He sang, good singer, and the teacher adored him. She practically adopted him. And I said, well, you know, you love to sing, and people die. Why don't you become a mortician? By gosh, all 3 of them did. And they made a lot of money.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
They
amazing.
were all very well off. But it was fun because they married girls that I didn't know, but I really liked all of them. And then one couple, one of my best friends married her high school sweetheart. And we'd have a reunion every year. It was nice. It was very nice. And I lost them all.
Oh.
That's special to have all those years together, though.
Yeah. I don't think I hardly even know anybody I went to high school with anymore,
No,
much
I
less college or those years. I just don't. People have moved in and out of my life a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I sure miss
Amazing.
them.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I know.
And all of my best girlfriends are gone.
Mm-hmm.
I've outlived them. All my family.
Yeah.
Not here, but
Right.
On the other side.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Pretty amazing. We're glad you're here.
I love that story, Grandma.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Which one?
About getting on the bus to come down here. I
Yes.
just think I think it's you know, for the era, I don't think it was a very unusual, you know, decision.
I don't know anybody else that ever did
Yeah.
it.
No.
But I think the fact that you know, that you just were like, I'm gonna just
Well, you know, I started college there,
mm-hmm.
but I didn't have any help, and I tried to, but things got so bad at home, all
Mhm.
the complaining and whining, and In fact, the first year I was in college, this one girlfriend and I were in it, and she had the lead, and I had the next lead.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked to live with us a little while we were rehearsing. And after all of this, she said, "Bea, I used to feel so sorry for you." She said, "It just broke my heart the way they treated you." So I left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show them. But it was hurtful
Sure.
Yeah.
to not be wanted by your family.
Mm.
I think
Very
that's why I
tough.
appreciate Mike and Cookie and all of you kids, because you show me so much love that I never had,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
I
you
really
you built that family.
Yeah.
but I really appreciate it, and something I guess my folks love me, but I didn't feel it
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
like you do.
Yeah. Well, no, we feel very. I mean, we all feel very lucky, and I
And
think
Dee
Absolutely.
had a terrible uh, childhood.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Terrible childhood.
Well, you guys both knew what you didn't want for your family, and you made sure things happened differently for your own
It-
family.
Absolutely, both of us,
Yeah.
I think, without even realizing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made sure, that's why I wanted the store. I wanted them to have decent clothes, I wanted them to have a nice home to stay in.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be able to make sure they both had a college education.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked hard for that.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
But they both realized it.
Yeah. No, I think they definitely do. Yeah, I think the
Absolutely.
fact that Poppy was so gentle, even after everything he went through as a kid, was kind of amazing. You know, that he turned into such a gentle man.
He was gentle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Never thought about that. He had a terrible childhood.
Yeah.
His parents were divorced when he was 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 5. And he had 2 little brothers, and I never did quite realize how that worked, but he lived with his grandmother a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
his dad was a carpenter, and he'd work here, and he'd work there, and he'd work there, and he'd get married to this woman and have another family, and then get rid of her, and then get married again and have another family,
Oh my
and he'd get rid of
goodness.
her, and it was hard for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
He had, that old man had women coming in and out the back door his whole life. I don't know where he got these women, because he never went anyplace, and I can't tell you how many were out there living with him
Yeah.
at different
Mom-
times.
Mom used to talk about how she had more grandmothers than anybody else.
And Mike would tease the kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It would just drive them insane, because he had I have a lot of grandmas.
That's so
And you only have one.
Oh my
It
goodness.
just drive them crazy.
Oh, well, turn something like that into a positive.
Right.
As only only
Only
Mike
Mike.
can do that, right?
You know, I have to tell you something about Mike. One day he came, and he'd taken, I guess they had skates at some point, and so he made a scooter out of it, you know,
Oh,
with a
yeah.
box, and scootered along.
Uh-huh.
And he was all over the neighborhood. And he came home one day and he says, "I want Dad's turnout coat." And I said, "Well, why?" He says, "Well, that lady over on the other street keeps putting the hose on me. She doesn't want me So he went over and went back and forth with his turnout coat on.
Oh my goodness.
So he wouldn't get wet. And teased that poor woman something terrible.
Oh my gosh. That's really funny.
It was so funny. I said, Mike, you shouldn't tease her like that. Didn't do a bit of good. He did it.
Yeah. That's really funny.
But they had a good growing up there in that
Yeah.
little house.
Mhm. I think so.
First, I took Cookie to kindergarten. Talk about independence. And then I walked over to the school and, no, I went in the car. And she started, was on the street, and I said, I came after you. Guy, you don't think I can do anything. She put up her.
Sounds
So-
very familiar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you recognize that?
Oh yeah.
So she walked home.
Mhm.
She said that, you know, Mom, that dumb teacher didn't teach me a thing. She didn't teach me to read or write or anything. Kindergarten,
Yep.
first day.
Megan said the same thing on her first day of kindergarten.
Did I?
Yeah. You came home with, they didn't teach us to read.
Oh, I remember desperately wanting to learn how to read because everybody I knew would sit and read. We'd come here and
Right.
you and Poppy would each have a book on the beach and Mom and Dad would have a book on the beach and Leslie and Karen would have a magazine or a book or something.
Yeah. But what
Yeah,
was
we played
Game
Game
in
in
the
the
suitcase.
suitcase.
Oh, yes.
Right, that's
oh,
true.
yes.
still at the garage.
it is?
I remember that, and that was
Yeah.
that was fun.
That was a lot of fun. We played that a lot.
We
I
did.
learned
Yeah.
a lot about strategy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were good at it, too.
It was fun.
But Megan, you have to know that you actually already knew how to read.
Oh, well,
So,
maybe so.
you just didn't want to read by yourself. Does that sound
No,
familiar?
I have no idea.
I
Never
know.
heard that
I
before.
know. Crazy. Okay.